Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to go through my recent doll, which is Phlegein the Darklands dragon. So this one's a little bit different and I'll go through all of the steps that I've done, so stay tuned. Okay, so first of all I cast my parts up in resin, and this particular one I cast some glass eyes in. So if you want to know how to do that, I have tutorials in my shop at creaturesofnat.com which I show you how to mold and cast in resin eyes. So with this one, my dragon sculpt, I don't have any horns sculpted on it, so I can actually change it up a little bit. So I go ahead and sculpt all of my horns that I put on my dragons using this air dry clay. And it's bit of thunder here, and it's kind of like a squidgy clay that dries overnight, and you can get it quite cheap online on Etsy and just some places like that. So the only real downside is that it doesn't hold a whole lot of materials, but for me, the way I do my horns, I find it works pretty well, and there's kind of less chance than it snapping or breaking in postage or just with handling like normal Sculpey or Fimo would, because polymer clay can be quite fragile and also heavy, and this particular clay is really light. And with all of my dolls that I make, I have a little backstory for him. So this is Phlegein's, the Darkland dragon's backstory. Darkland dragons have a bit of a nasty streak. They tend to have a bit of a gang mentality and will steal and harass until they get what they want. They have very sharp teeth and claws which help them rip flesh from bones, chew and fight. They are a medium-sized dragon, with males usually ranging from the size of a large car and the females slightly smaller. The red colouring is on both sexes, which the male is usually red and more vibrant, and then the female. These dragons will pair for life and will nest in the same spot each year. Darkland dragons are found all throughout the Darkland region of Krai, India. So that is the little backstory. Alright, so once the horns have dried and I know they're going to be stuck on, I'm going to go ahead and paint the rest of the dragon. So I originally kind of wanted it white because I thought it looked pretty cool being all white, but being an all white dragon can be boring as well. But maybe in the future I could do like something with different wings, or I could make it like kind of holographic or something. I don't know, we'll see what happens. So what I'm using here is the chrome acrylic paint that I normally use for all of my doll painting. It's a really great quality paint and it's made here in Australia, so I really like the texture, and I've never had any troubles with the paint drying. So if you watch my previous video, the Hanya mask video, you'll know I had some trouble with golden paints, but yeah, I've never had a problem with chrome acrylic paints, so I very highly recommend it if you can get it in your country. Alright, so now that the head body, whatever, is dry, I'm going to go ahead and paint up the horns, and this particular clay is a little bit different. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of repellent but absorbent as well to paints, especially when you've got water on it or you've, watered down your paint. I think it works well when you're doing a wash because it sort of runs into all the details and brings it out, so that's another good thing about this clay. You can highlight details really easily with watered down paint. So again, I'm just using some chrome acrylic paint in different sort of colours and just painting it up the horns to be like a realistic colour, and just layering up the paint. So I like to layer this paint on top of that particular clay because sometimes it can be sort of resistant to absorb the clay, the paint. But yeah, if you keep layering it up, it'll take it up nicely. You could also try a primer, so I use background paint primer to prime all of my things, but yeah, just give it a go. So we have the same deal with the feet. So this particular dragon only has 2 feet, so it's the first dragon that I've done with only 2 feet, and then wings that are sort of joined into the arms. And this dragon also has a plastic ball and socket armature, so I usually do a wire armature, but this time I went for a ball and socket. The only wire on this will be in the wings, which I don't have any footage of for some reason, but I was thinking of doing a wing tutorial for my shop, but I haven't quite decided that yet, because I haven't really 100% perfected it to what I want it to be, so I probably won't be anytime soon. Alright, for the nails, I'm going for the same colour as the horn, so just putting a yellowy base down, and then I'll go around with some brown and just add some dirt and grit and stuff, just to make it not so yellow. And I'm thinking it might be time for some new dragon feet. I think these were from my original one, or I can't remember where they're from, but I feel like it's time for some new ones. So yeah, it might be, you know, in the next couple of months I might do that. So the thing that I did differently about this body was I actually felted the body and tried a few different things, because I wanted to use a fabric that wasn't faux fur and it was more dragon scale type fur. So I actually, yeah, felted the body around that ball and socket armature, and I added little panels and hand sewed everything on top of that felted body, which I think it worked really, really well. I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. It turned out way better than I thought it would. There are a few things that I still need to work on, which is patterning and just making sure I know where to cut things so things will fit. But yeah, I really learned a lot with this one, so it kind of opens up a whole new bag of bones where I can do a whole lot of different things and with different bodies and stuff as well. The only difficult thing is finding some fabric that works for these particular bodies. It's probably really easy in the US rather than Australia, because we have nothing. We have like one shop that doesn't have a great deal of dragon type fabric, and one of my cats is coming in to join. He's an absolute pest. So I can give you a quick little look around the body for now. I've sewn the pieces up and I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out, and you know, refined all of the sections. I'm getting pretty good at the ladder stitch as well, so I'm just going to remove the cat. And yeah, I have a ladder stitch tutorial on my channel if you want to check that out as well. So I've gotten quite good by hand sewing that as well, so really happy I did this body. So I'm going to be adding some little horny scaly things on top of the body. So these are some of the little horns that I have. I molded and cast myself. So I have some of these in my shop if you're wanting these. They're pretty cheap, and they're great to add to any of your art dolls or any other art project. So I'm going to be just like gluing them on, because the glue that I use is quite good at adhering resin to fabric pieces. It's really, really good. It's just a tacky fabric glue that I normally use with my faux fur, so it stays on there pretty well, and you have to sort of peel it off if you actually want to take it off. So it's really, really good and really, really sturdy as well. So the reason why I stuck them on without it painted is because they're kind of too difficult to hold them with your little fingers, and then you end up taking all the paint off. So I decided to stick them on unpainted, and then I'll go around and paint it up when all of the glue is dry, which I gave it a few layers of paint just to make sure none of the white is coming through, and it's pretty much finished up this dragon. So this little one is available in my shop on my website, creaturesofnat.com, if it already hasn't been adopted. Payment plans are also welcome, and I should have a couple of different things going on at my shop in the next couple of months, so not all art dolls, it'll be like some different kinds of arts and stuff like that. And that is it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any video requests, you can leave it in the comments down below. You can also check me out on Instagram and Facebook at Creatures of Nat, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!